Hello dear students, this is your Satish Sir. Finally, after lot of students' request, it could be possible today that we are now releasing specific classes for CMA Final SCM in English. Yes, you have heard it right. This could not be possible without our students who had been continuously behind us seeking exclusive guidance for CMA, and I know we have been working hard with our CMA community to give them exclusive classes, exclusive guidance as per CMA course. Friends, as a first step towards this journey, we have released now 5 classes for CMA Final SCM in English version. I've tried my best to maintain the essence and accuracy of the teachings in English as well. However, I shall be always there behind the screen for you to assist you, to guide you, to support you, to ensure that you really get the value out of time you will invest watching these videos. For this purpose, in this video description, I've added one WhatsApp group where you should join while watching these English classes and for any kind of queries that you are facing while studying through these classes. The more the response comes, the more the active participation comes in our WhatsApp groups, the more would be the motivation for us to work ahead for further English version of our all other subjects and this full subject as well. I would be happy to assist you in your CMA journey. I and my team are eagerly waiting for you to start learning from us. Thank you so much.
Okay, so now we begin. For those who are joining the class online, please confirm your attendance by typing good morning. You should say good morning without waiting for a reminder. Okay? You should greet me without being asked. This is something we are taught from our childhood. As children grow, they tend to become increasingly independent as a grown-up person. Then as teachers, we need to greet them daily. Like good morning. So normally when students greet teachers with good morning, then how do we teachers respond? We do this, right? This way. But nowadays things have changed. The students come in and take their seats and teachers greet them. And students react like this. Times are changing a bit, but I will continue to remind you of your responsibilities as students so that you don't forget the duties of a student. Correct? Okay, so now let me quickly go over what we discussed the last day. Yesterday in the class, we discussed the difference between relevant and irrelevant costs. Most important. And the second point that we discussed was the 3 methods of decision making. You were taught the 3 methods for decision making calculations. Correct? Am I correct? In relevant costing, the 3 costs that are deemed relevant are variable cost, avoidable, and the third is opportunity cost. Right? And in irrelevant costs, we have 2 types of costs which are irrelevant. They are sunk costs and committed costs. To test your understanding, I had provided you with some questions earlier that you need to think about. What I wrote is correct or incorrect? Is it true or false? The first question is, are all irrelevant costs sunk costs? What do you think, false or true? False. Sit a little closer. You answered it correctly. You also need to provide its reason for why. Its reason should be written next to it. Why? Because irrelevant cost also includes committed cost, committed fixed costs. Irrelevant costs also include committed fixed costs. Irrelevant cost also includes committed fixed costs. Okay. Second question is, all sunk costs are irrelevant costs. All sunk costs are irrelevant. It is true. Okay. Moving ahead, and what is the reason behind this? These do not change. Sunk costs do not change due to a change in decisions. They remain unaffected. They do not change due to change in decision. Sunk costs do not change due to changes in decisions. Sunk costs do not change due to changes in decisions. Then all past costs are sunk costs. Is it true? All past costs are sunk costs. Yes, past costs mean sunk costs. Past costs are always sunk costs. So this is true. All past costs are sunk costs. Sunk costs are simply past costs. Sunk means which have been incurred. Okay, fine. All past costs are sunk costs regardless of their nature. Okay, be it variable costs or be it fixed costs. Whatever the nature of it, if it's been incurred, it's incurred. If the cost is incurred, it is sunk. All future costs are irrelevant costs. So are all future costs relevant costs? The answer is false. Why? Because in the future, the committed costs which are incurred will not change. You can take any decision. They will not change. Future committed costs are irrelevant. So which future cost is relevant? The future costs which are variable in nature and which are avoidable fixed costs. Avoidable fixed costs are only relevant. All the future costs, the entire future costs may not necessarily become relevant. Correct? I hope the idea is clear. I hope the concept is now clear to you. Yes? We are discussing relevant costing. Following this, I assigned a question for you to complete as homework. That was it. Listen to me. In the initial case, if there is no PDF, then the PDF will be available in the Telegram group of this batch. This batch has a separate Telegram group. It's not like you will find them in the general Telegram group. Right? Okay, so if anyone does not have the PDF, it's fine. We can read directly from here. It's very simple. You need to assess and determine if this cost is a committed cost or a discretionary one. Discretionary means something that is optional. And committed means it is inevitable. You can't change it. Alright? So the first question is, an annual increase of 5% in salaries and wages for administrative staff as per the agreement. There is an agreement with them that your salary will be increased by 5% annually. So it means that it is limited. You can't remove it. Write the answer in the notebook. However, no need to write the definition. Just note whether A, B, C, D are committed or discretionary. If there is such a scenario in the exam, then you only need to write the answer. Do not copy the question. So the first one's answer is committed. Alright, when you note it in notebook, so write down the proper solution to question number 1. Also, there is something I didn't mention before. You write this way, solution to question number 1. And when you get the material, you will also write the proper page number. Now you don't know the page number. First, you should write the heading solution to question number 1 with the page number. And page numbering is also being done in the copy. When the material is delivered, then here you have to write this. Please pay attention. First, the page number and then the exercise book number. For example, exercise book number 1 and page number dash. You have to write this down. This cross-referencing will persist as we teach at the intermediate level. Students who didn't study intermediate learned about this today. This way, which is being used in every question, should be applied to every subject, not just in costing. Let's move on. Point number B. It states the marketing department recommends a new advertisement for its existing product for achieving sales quantities that were budgeted for at the beginning of the year. This new advertisement is recommended, but it is not necessary. So what will we state? It's discretionary. Okay, write down the answer. B is discretionary. You should write down the keyword necessarily, which indicates why is it discretionary. It is recommended to write it in brackets. Just write it down in your own language so that it will be easy to revise. It is recommended, it is not mandatory. There is an agreement here, so it is mandatory. It has to be done. Whatever is essential is committed. Rents paid for the factory premises for the last 6 months. And the rent payable for the next 6 months. The paid rent is already sunk. This is about what is payable. Production is going on in the factory. If the production is ongoing, the rent has to be paid. There is something called an implied agreement. Have you ever studied about it in law? One is expressed agreement and other is implied. So an implied agreement means, suppose you boarded a bus, then you will pay for it. So the production is ongoing. 6 months rent is paid. It means that the next 6 months rent is to be paid. So what is this? It's committed. The production is going on, and write the reason in brackets that it's an implied agreement. You will write the reason in brackets that it is an implied agreement. Write the reason in the bracket that it is an implied agreement. In the reason you will write it's an implied agreement. Okay. Next, research the costs of a product that has reached the maturity phase in its life cycle. Life cycle costing will be taught separately. In that, for the products, based on the available volume, we make different phases. For example, first, there is an introductory phase, then a growth phase, and then a maturity phase. The fourth phase is decline phase. The maturity phase means it is very popular. After this, the product has reached saturation and now it will decline. So in the maturity phase, a company decides whether to discontinue the product or conduct a new research on the product to extend its life. Here it discusses the research cost of a product that has reached its maturity phase in its life cycle. It is time to think whether the product should be discontinued. One should either conduct a new research or extend its lifespan. If we can find a use for it and let consumers know, this product might become more popular. The research costs may be needed. Notice it says may be needed to introduce a more affordable substitute. When entering the market to face competition, it's typical for the competition to become very intense during that phase. When a product reaches the maturity phase, competition becomes very high. At that time, you have to consider whether to keep this product running or shut it down. Or maybe a new product can be brought to the market that is cheap and can compete. So, the research cost can be incurred once the product enters the maturity phase of its life cycle. And we need to incur this because we will be bringing in a new substitute. The point is this really necessary? Will it not work without it? Is there any compulsion to do this? So the answer to this is no. It is discretionary. Why? If you want, you can stop conducting research and the product will decline. The product will die. It means nobody will be buying that product. People will start buying a different product. If you do it, then perhaps you might get more benefit from the discretionary costs. We have to conduct a cost-benefit analysis. That if we spend on this, then we might get some benefit in return for this. This is a discretionary cost, right? If we proceed with it, we might get the benefit from the sales for a longer period. Or if a new substitute product comes, we will be able to compete. It's not mandatory. The mandatory essential thing that must be done is a commitment. Okay. Legal consultancy fees payable for patent rights. Patent rights apply, and for that, legal fees are payable for a new product. Patents rights have already been applied. Patents rights have been applied, and its legal fees is payable. Is it committed or discretionary? It's committed. Why? So it is an implied agreement, right? The reason for this is implied agreement. As you have applied for a patent already, you haven't been asked to pay the fees yet. If it is applied, then the fees has to be paid. The legal consultancy fee will be payable because of the implied agreement, because the work has already been done. So the payment has to be made, just like the rent case. This case is the same. 6 months rent is paid and 6 months remain. Rent must be paid as the work continues. Here you have to pay the patent fee as you have already applied for the patent. So the legal fees will have to be paid. There is no chance of avoiding them. Right? This became committed. I hope the idea is clear. This is just for analysis. We don't know if this will be on the exam. This question was meant to stimulate your thinking. Okay? Let's continue. Next. Yesterday, we covered the notes up to point number 4, which was about the meaning of irrelevant costs. Now let's move to the notes point number 5. So here we are done with question number 1. Now, point number 5. Uses of relevant costing. What is the use of relevant costing? It has two main uses. Number 1. There are two main uses of this. Number 1, minimum and the maximum price of an offer. Minimum and maximum price of an offer. Number 2 is evaluation of acceptance and the rejection of an offer. Evaluation of acceptance or rejection of an offer. Correct? Minimum and maximum price of an offer. And the second point here is the evaluation of acceptance or rejection of an offer. Is this clear? We received an offer. Then how much? Lowest of the price should we charge? Or sometimes it also happens that, suppose we are going to buy something. So what is the highest price we as buyers can offer to the seller? As a seller, what is the minimum we can take? When it comes to the minimum, you will think as a seller. And when it comes to maximum, you will think as a buyer. If we are going to buy something from you, so what is the maximum that we can offer to you? You understand? And when you come to buy something from us, when you are the buyer, then what would be the minimum amount that we will charge you? Correct? The minimum and maximum changes the perspective. In one case, we are selling. In another, we are buying. What does the buyer think? What's the maximum we can offer? What does the seller think? What is the minimum amount we should charge? And secondly, when you provide a price quote, you're essentially stating that this is the best offer that you can make. So we will then decide whether to proceed with you at that price or not. I had already explained the applicability of this to you all the other day, that we cannot apply the relevant costing everywhere. We will only apply all this when a situation like this will come up where the customized order of the customer who actually went bankrupt and couldn't pay and the order got stuck with us. Now surplus capacity is available for a limited period. We also have some inventory here. Then we apply it. Otherwise we don't. Don't apply relevant costing everywhere. Now here, what if a scenario like this comes up where a one-time customer came? You are thinking to sell him something. It will form a relation. Imagine that you came to me as my one-time customer. This is a problem. You said to me that, sir, is your classroom available? Is it empty right now? Can you give me the classroom, sir, so that I can also teach? I'm a tutor too. Now I thought he doesn't come every day. I don't have to do it all the time. And if I have surplus capacity temporarily in a classroom, so I can give him. Okay? So you asked me, sir, how much do you want? I said, you're like a child to me. Why would I charge you? But if you insist, then you can just give me 1,000 rupees for the day that you teach here. Minimum. I just asked for a minimum of 1,000 rupees because that amount would cover my electricity bill. Now you are thinking this deal is good. I won't find this kind of place in 1,000 rupees. You said, here you go. I am taking the class. I said, okay, take it. But what happened after you took it? You came after a week and said, sir, I want the classroom again for 1,000 rupees. Now what happens is that when the customer comes second time and pay 1,000 rupees each time, then I will get furious. But why? Because the first time I helped, I thought it was a one-time situation. And that at least he will pay equivalent of my electricity bill. If customer comes again with demand of 1,000 rupees, then how will I pay the rent for this place? I will do something else here so that it can be beneficial for me, right? So I told him, I just helped you once. Why are you asking me again? Of course, the customer will come again because he got it for cheap the first time in minimum price. He got it for cheap, so he will be attracted again. When he came the second time, I told him that I'll take proper rent for this place. Cost for one day will be 10,000. Then he said, who would pay that much money? Is that really the rent for this place? I said, you have to pay this much. But first time you gave it for 1,000 rupees, now you're being greedy. No, I'm not greedy. I just helped you the first time out of kindness only. But if you keep demanding the same every day, then I won't be able to do my work. At least you should pay me for my expenses and you should give me the shared cost of rent. And now you say this is too much for me. And then you will just leave after getting dissatisfied from me. You will think that now this man has become a huge businessman. You'll say, for God's sake, please don't think about money anymore. How much money do you want? You people don't try to help anyone. You will say these things. These are the demerits of relevant costing. So what happens in this situation is, we say that if a customer gets used to the low or cheap price, then the customer comes back again for the same thing at the same low price. So what I'm trying to say is that if we sell something at the same price every time, then we will go in loss, which is not good. And if I increase the price, then the customer that I have in front of me will get very dissatisfied from me. Okay, and there's another problem, that first you are dissatisfied, and second, I had given the classroom to you in 1,000 rupees, right? So now another teacher has come to me and asked for a classroom. He said to me, I also want to teach here with you, just give me some space. Now see, when another teacher or customer comes to me, but this time I say to him that I will take 3,000 per day, for example, but gave you for 1,000. What happens from this when we do pricing based on relevant costing? Our first customer became happy after we gave him low price. But if someone else or other customer finds out about this, then that second customer to whom we give at a high price will get upset. Understood? Because he will just think that I sold you something at a higher price. And look at this. He has sold in 1,000 rupees to new people. This is the demerit of relevant costing. That here we only help out of kindness and thinking that it's just one time. But the problem is that if the customer comes back, he'll ask for same price. We can't give it to him, then he will be upset. Now, the second problem is that if the customer who was given a low price before, if because of him my regular customers realize this, so they'll be upset. So whenever you will use relevant costing, you will use it very discreetly, and also you are going to make it clear to the customer that it will happen for one time only. Next time, don't think you'll get it in this same price or low price. Make it clear to the customer. If you don't make it clear, they will come with expectations, and if you don't fulfill them, then they will get upset with you. Understood? After discussing the uses of relevant costing, let's discuss demerits of relevant costing. Demerits of relevant costing. Number 1. Customer may get dissatisfied on repeat orders. On repeat orders, as the price of repeat orders would be higher. Okay. Second number, regular customers may feel annoyed if they get to know about the lower price for a special. Okay, students, write this for the special customer. Okay, let's discuss this. So regular customers may feel annoyed if they get to know about the lower price for the special customer. Okay, now students, the third point is that the reporting of profits is not in standard way of reporting okay. So students, the only profit considered here is known as the incremental profit. And then when we calculate the normal profit, while doing that, what happens in our accounts is that our expenses, sales minus direct expense minus indirect expense, everything is deducted there, but not here. Only relevant cost is deducted. That's why the profit shown here is not standard profit, because there are some costs associated with the item that we are not charging because we consider them as irrelevant. Okay. Now students, you can write that, because several sunk and committed cost apportionable to the offer, right? Apportionable to the offer. are not charged, are not charged. The reporting of profit is not in standard way of reporting because several sunk and committed cost apportionable to the offer are not charged. Okay, so students, in this it is not always necessary that the profit is being shown here accurately. Now let's take an example to understand what this means. It will come in our calculations. This is just to explain you. If I suppose that I have any particular piece of material and that material has suppose become obsolete. So the cost of this has sunk. So the cost of material sunk. So I will have to write off 10,000 rupees for it. We had to write off. That means we had loss. Okay. Now what is the meaning of write off? We had loss. Now you came to me and said that, sir, I want the material. I will use it for some work and I can give you 500 rupees for this. Okay. So you came and said, can you give me this material? I need it for work. And I am giving you 500 rupees. Understood? Should I give you this material for 500 or not? Think about it, students. Answer yes or no. I have a material that I bought for 10,000 rupees. It is useless, obsolete for me, so I have to write it off. Now you've come to me that, sir, I need this material for my work. Please give it to me for 500 rupees. Should I give it? Should I sell this in 500? Are you understanding relevant costing? If your thought process is right, it means you're learning relevant costing. Otherwise, you should do one thing today. Ask your mom the same question at home. If you live away from home. If your home is not here, then call and ask. This is a type of question that needs a real life example if you want to understand it properly. Ask her that, do we still have that old thing which is useless? A friend of mine wants it. Should I give it to him for 500 rupees? Ask her this and see what mom says. I guarantee you, she will say, no, don't give it to him. So just like this, people like us collect all the useless stuff in our house and never gives it to someone else. We keep it on a loft that is made above the bed for storage. We have been adding things in that loft for years, but we never empty it. We keep filling it. And then every year we take it down around the time of Diwali and we empty it and clean it. Then someone suggests that we should give it away. It's useless to us. Then we think, what if we need it in future? These people don't know relevant costing. Understood? Business operates on relevant costing. Relevant costing doesn't apply at home, only emotional costing does. Emotions are connected to everything. They say, did you know who bought this and for how much? This is important. It can't be given away. It will be useful once your child is born. So in that case, I say, why are you worried about that right now? This is what I'm trying to explain you. That when you create a PL account, and if there are no offers, then it will show loss. You will write off 10,000. Now net loss will be 10,000. If offer came, so it will still show loss in PL. Even now, loss will be shown there of 9,500 if an offer comes in, because 10,000 you will have to write off. And now you have received 500 rupees income. Okay. According to this, both have loss. So their view is not wrong. Loss is 9,500 instead of 10, but still it's a loss. They're not wrong. That's why he's not giving it. Now, what I am trying to say is that the presentation of relevant costing is not PL based. It says to create a statement showing net profit. And from that, remove the irrelevant cost. Remove 10,000 sunk cost. So the relevant costing statement will say to make statement showing net profit. So students, then it will say that the cash received, which is 500 rupees, will show here, and also it will be considered as surplus. 10,000 is a sunk cost, so it's irrelevant. Relevant costing is showing positive 500. And your PL is showing the loss of total 9,500. So we get confused a lot that how did it benefit? It's showing a loss of 9,500. Then we have to explain, if it wasn't here, then the loss would have been much more higher than this. The loss would have been of 10,000 instead of 9,500. Okay. So this is the point here. reporting of profit is not in the standard way of reporting because students several sunk and committed costs apportionable to the offer are not charged. Okay, we didn't charge the cost associated with it. How will both reports match? The actual PL is here, which is 9500. So if we subtract the sunk cost from this, which is 10,000 rupees, then we get our net as 9500, and we understand that this 9500 is common. Now remove the irrelevant cost. It will show profit of 500. In our accounts, it shows loss of 9500. So the person will get worried that here I have a profit and here I have a loss. We have to explain that the problem of relevant costing is that profit reporting is not how it should be. So you have to use it very carefully and correctly. It's not like you have to use the relevant costing everywhere. Demerits are clear? There is another demerit. What happens a lot is that you got an offer and I thought it's one time. Because of the one-time offer, I had to incur some extra fixed cost. Okay. Suppose I had to hire a temporary worker or maybe buy a new machine. Or for example, extra electricity bill got added. Let's understand from bill. Students, have you ever seen or read an electricity bill that comes in your home? You should check that document. What happens in my city is that the electricity bill is calculated using slab-based rate. Did you know this? That the rate is on slab basis. So now, sometimes this happens that because of providing offer, my electricity bill came higher. My bill came higher, the slab also changed. And what was the loss from when the slab changed? That my whole electricity bill, even my current and normal electricity bill got increased. Sometimes the offer can increase your normal cost of doing business. In the offer, I only have to pay for the 20 units. But because of that, my remaining 2000 units, for example, the rate of my previous bill also got increased. We sometimes don't pay attention. That what happened due to offer. So due to offer, cost of doing business can increase. And we don't see it. This has to be also taken care of. And it often happens that we think the offer is one time and it's not a big deal. The offer will go away. But the cost that has increased due to it, sometimes that cost doesn't go away even after the offer is gone. It is very difficult to reduce the cost after the offer. Like for example, I bought a new machine to do your work. I hired 2 men to operate that machine. Until it was your work, I could afford the cost of machine and labor. But then you left after your work was done. Now after that, we can't fire that labor. And if we fire him, morale of our other employees will go down. So it often happens that due to offers, the cost will increase sometime, which you can decrease after offer. We have to be very careful while using relevant costing. Don't just focus on the fact that an offer came and due to that offer some extra cost is coming here, so I will just charge it. But think about this too, that what will happen after the offer? What is going to happen after the offer? Do you understand? Now let's move on to number 4. Many times, the cost may remain increased after the offer. Example, the employee that was hired for the offer could not be terminated after the offer. Could not be terminated after the offer. The employee hired could not be terminated after the offer. Got it? Alright, so this was about the demerits. So we basically have to take care of such costs. While doing workings in relevant costing, this I was trying to say. Now we move on. I will now introduce you to new things. Point number, let's see, 7. So we will look at point number 7 and here we will talk about Opportunity cost. I had said that about opportunity cost we will be discussing in detail, right? Because it's the base concept of this chapter. We do know some bits about this, but it's important to know it a little more in depth. Because time to time related to this, work happens. So what is opportunity cost? Okay, right? It means that the income foregone from the next best alternative. It means that the income foregone from the next best alternative comma while accepting an alternative. While accepting an alternative. What does this mean? Income foregone from the next best alternative while accepting an alternative. So it means what? It means we were on our way towards some place. So instead of doing what we went for, we did otherwise. Okay? For example, this example. Have you heard of Anarkali? Not the old but new. So there was a song.
छोड़ छाड़ के अपने.
Have you heard? Which street? Whose street? So leaving behind everything. Her lover's street. What did she do to that street? She left it. To go where? Anarkali went where? She went to the disco. Where? To the disco. What did she leave? Anarkali left her lover's street. And to go where? To the disco. So it is saying, while accepting an alternative, in order to accept this, or say, in order to go to the disco, what did she leave behind? She left the street. So what is the opportunity cost of going to the disco? So for that, we will have to put something in a monetary amount, right? Let's say if Anarkali goes to that street, she would have earned, right? Her lover at least would have given her some earning, maybe 5,000. But she left him and went where? To the disco. So what's the opportunity cost of going to disco? 5,000 rupees. What's 5,000? So this basically was the income of Anarkali which she has foregone. So you can say that Anarkali has given up this income. Income is foregone. You see, many students, they think like opportunity cost is actually cost. It's not the cost. It's income that is foregone. Don't say it cost. It's income foregone. I didn't consider the cost of Salim's street. Let's say net income is considering the auto rickshaws cost as well. So the net income going to Salim's street is 5,000. Okay. Going to disco would have also involved some expenses. Some auto fare would be there. We aren't talking about that. What is the cost involved here? That's not relevant to us. But you see at this place here, the opportunity cost which is involved is, it is the income that was left behind. You came to attend my class. Okay. For example, you came to attend my class. For example, you came to my class. You came to my class. Why? You came to attend my class, right? Now in exchange of this, someone was calling you to the office. In exchange, let's assume that someone from the office was calling you. In return from my office, or let's say from some other office, someone was calling you, and there you would have earned 200 rupees today. So opportunity cost of attending my class is the income that you left behind. Okay. So the income which you left behind, that, my students, is your opportunity cost. I'm keeping it simple. This concept is very helpful in decision making. So this was its simplest explanation for you. Now I will complicate it. First, I wanted you to learn this using some everyday examples. Let's increase its level. You won't have understood directly with complex examples. Is this concept clear to you? That let's say if we are currently on one path, so what is the opportunity cost of going down that road? So at this time, the path on which you have been traveling, do not look at the cost of that current path, right? The path at which you are going currently, don't look at the cost of it. But look at what are you leaving behind while you are going down that path. Look at the income of that. Okay, let's move on. So let's move. Saurabh Joshi is commenting and asking, sir, what are you teaching? My dear is not understanding what is happening. So this here basically we are trying to study a complex concept in a much simpler way possible. Okay, so it is a complex concept which we are trying to understand in a very simple way. If I will directly show its complexity, you guys will run away. Therefore, an attempt is being made to teach in the language that you understand. So now this thing you students will never, ever forget. Now whenever this song will be played, the concept of opportunity will click you. Right? Okay. So now in this, there is one more example, which will be explained to you this term, which is next best alternative. The next best alternative. Right? Now we'll talk about next best alternative. Let's just assume, let's say, if multiple paths are placed in front of you, okay? Let's say I am a lecturer. My name is Ashik. Ashik sir is a lecturer. And he teach. Now the thing is that Mr. Ashik at the same day and same time had received 3 lecture offers from different places. 3 places. Offer 1 was that you may come and give a lecture at the ICAI and take 5,000. What a coincidence. Normally he won't even get a job. And offer 2 also came at the same time. You will get 4,000 rupees, come and give lecture at ICMAI. Okay. And then another offer came, which was offer number 3. Imagine this third offer came from SJC. They are giving 8,000. So now where will Ashik sir go to give a lecture? Assume that all 3 have the same timing. Let's say it's Saturday 5 p.m. on the same day. And same day, offer for all 3 clashed. So which lecture will our Ashik sir choose? Cunning intelligence. He will choose SJC because it is giving the most money. Right? Your thinking is correct so far. But Ashik sir, you see, he has a different temperament. So he is saying, I won't go anywhere. Ashik sir says, we are not going anywhere. I will not go anywhere. So Ashik's mother then came. She knew about these 3 offers. So now this question is arising that because he is not going anywhere, then tell me, what is his loss? How much loss is he entitled to because he didn't go anywhere? He is resting. He's in a different mood today. So what loss is he sitting with? How much is it? Yes, tell me. 5,000 plus 4,000 plus 8,000. 17,000. Loss of 17,000. 1 of 8,000. Then 5,000. Next is 4,000 or 9,000. So tell me currently how much of a loss is our beloved Ashik sir is sitting at? Yes? Of 8,000? 17,000? Mother is scolding him. She's saying that he doesn't do anything. He just stays in his own mood. If he had gone somewhere today, he would have earned. This is about Saturday 5 o'clock. He would have earned 8,000 rupees because, now don't say like 8 plus 4 plus 5. You can't say all 3. Because all of these 3 offers, they came at the same time. Only one of the 3 could be selected. Did you understand? Either it could be offer 1, offer 2 or offer 3. Okay, since all are at the same time and day, at the same time and day, what would you say? So as we have written, since all are at the same time and day. So what we have written is since all are at the same time and day. What would you say? Since all are at the same time and the same day, comma, what will you say? Ashik cannot accept all 3. So Ashik cannot accept all 3. Okay. So which one he will accept? So he will accept. I mean Ashik. Which offer? Offer 3 being the highest income. he will accept the one with the highest income. Okay. So this highest income is the one what we usually call, that is the next best alternative. If it's the next best alternative, then it's the highest income, is the one with the highest income, is the one with highest income. One with the highest income is the best option. Okay. So what happened was our Ashik sir had decided in the end that he wouldn't be going anywhere. So first question is, what is the opportunity cost of Mr. Ashik? So what is the opportunity cost of Mr. Ashik? When this type of question is asked, what does it mean? That he didn't go anywhere. What is the opportunity cost of Mr. Ashik? These questions means that he did not go anywhere. Assuming that he hasn't gone anywhere. He could have gone but didn't go anywhere. So what is the answer? What would the answer be? Tell me. 8,000 rupees. Yes, the answer is 8,000 rupees. That's correct. Yes, 8,000 is correct. Number two. Another question. Don't know why, but randomly it came to Ashik sir's mind. Let us go to SGC. So it will be, what is the opportunity cost of Mr. Ashik? If he selects offer 3, that means if he selected offer 3, what's the opportunity cost? Okay, pay attention. So to where you are currently going, it's not related to income and it's not related to cost. As explained in the example of Anarkali, the cost of the place you are going is not important. Okay, so if we are going to the SJC, then the income we will be getting from there doesn't matter. What are we giving up? 4,000 rupees or 5,000? Because we cannot give up both. If we don't go here, where else will we go? To the next best. Besides this, what's next best option? Next means what are other options and best means which is best of those. So what is the answer? 5,000. So the answer you could say the higher of. Higher of what? Income foregone. From the higher of income foregone from ICAI and ICMAI. So that is equal to rupees 5,000. Is it clear? You shouldn't look at where you are going, but rather you will look what you are missing. So tell me, what will be the opportunity cost of ICAI? In ICAI, what would be the opportunity cost? 5 you will get. So the answer will be 8,000. At ICMAI, what will be opportunity cost? 8,000 because it's the highest number between 5 and 8. Okay, right now I have asked of 1, but like this. I can ask about offer 1. I can ask about offer 2. Clear? Do the numbering of these examples. It would be better. Example number 1, 2. Then you write opportunity cost. It is calculated only before taking a decision. When will you take it? Before taking a decision. Wherever you want to go. So before going to that place where you want to go. So before going to that place, not afterwards. And after that, all you can do is just say that there is no use of repenting after the opportunity is lost. It will be that idiom. There will only be regret later. The reason why we calculate opportunity cost is so that we don't regret any type of decision making. And when should you do it? Before making a decision. Not necessarily there will be an opportunity cost. Okay? Not necessarily there will be an opportunity cost. Okay, with me. In example 3, imagine. There is an obsolete material lying around. It is an useless material. And its cost I have incurred is 10,000 rupees. Okay? Now I have options. Option number 1, that either I can sell it to a person dealing in scrap, which is resale. I will get 500 rupees from that. Option number 2 is that I can recycle this thing. Now that will also cost me 2,000. And then what will I do here? I can sell this now and generate the sales revenue of 8,000. Now you all tell me, what should I do? Option 1 or option 2? 2 is better. It's common sense. Okay? Between option 1 and option 2, I would choose second, because it is more profitable. But after selecting the second option from these two, so after I have chosen option 2, okay? Now consider case of this obsolete material. Imagine a friend of mine came to me and asked to give it to him. He asked me to give it to him, or assume a one-time customer of mine is asking this. Materials needed for their work will cost 10,000. In this situation, what should I charge from them? Or how much should be charged here? My number is 10,000. I forgot that. Okay? If I sell this material in some offer, or let's say I decide to use this in some customer offer, then how much should be charged? Consider opportunity cost of this. Fine. How much is that? It's 6,000 rupees, not 500. As soon as option 2 comes in front of me, I would reject option 1, wouldn't I? One can't say that I was going to scrap it anyway and getting rupees 500. I would say no, I wasn't even considering to scrap it. I had the option, but I didn't. I would have recycled and profited by 6,000 rupees. I can give it to you too. Give me 6,000. When do we think about the opportunity cost? Before I will give it to you or after I will give it to you? Tell me. What did you do? You came to me and asked for this material as my friend. And then I thought about the pricing of the material for you. Now tell me. So when did I think about it? Before making this decision of whether to give it to my friend or not. Thinking should always happen before making a decision. It comes before, not after. Okay? Just because of personal feelings, should I give something to a friend without giving it much of a thought? Immediately? Give it away, and I might realize later that recycling it was more profitable. I would get 6,000. Is it possible to ask that friend for 6,000 later? No. Why didn't I think before? What is the key takeaway here? If we consider the opportunity cost before making a decision, it will benefit us. There won't be regrets. There's no guilt. It is what it is at that time. There's a possibility that when we were making some decision, then at that time we couldn't detect the opportunity. We realized that we could have done this too, only after making the decision. What's the use of crying over spilt milk now? You cannot undo it. In case there was some opportunity in that. Forget it. Okay? Did you understand? Like in the case of the boy called Prashant. An incident happened. Let's make studies fun through this story. Prashant was desperate to marry either by hook or crook. But he couldn't find a bride. There were no opportunities. No options available. Zero chances. Okay? An African girl came and proposed to Prashant. She was from the Middle East. Quite sturdy. He agreed. Because Prashant didn't have any other options. Something is better than nothing. Therefore, he moved forward. He made arrangements and got married in a hurry. After that, another beautiful girl came to him and said that, Prashant, I have read your biodata and like it. Marry me. When did the opportunity arise here? After the decision was made. Is it of value? Now, Prashant can't leave his current wife. His religion won't allow it. What's done is done. There's no use in regretting it. Opportunity is considered before making a decision, not after. If it arises post the decision making, then it loses its value. Okay? You can only regret it by thinking about it. There's nothing else. When the next opportunity comes, you can only grieve it. and you can't do anything else. You become optionless. An opportunity is valuable before making a decision. We should think about it before we make a decision. Only before making the decision. If it is realized later, then it has no value. Therefore, make sure that before you use these obsolete materials for any offer you are given, means for any offer. These two opportunities are available. Look here carefully. I wrote these two opportunities are available. I will repeat it again. Before using these obsolete material for any offer. What is written after that? These two opportunities are available. Okay. What does it say here? These two opportunities are available. It's followed by before using these obsolete materials for any offer. Repeat this after me. These two opportunities are available. Meaning option number 1 is an income of 500 rupees. Option number 2 is an income of 6,000 rupees. So which one of these is the opportunity cost? 6,000. And after this, if any opportunity arises. I mean to explain that if any opportunity is known after the offer, or decision after the offer, comma, it is of no value. I repeat, it is of no value. Because what has been done cannot be undone. Here we have been given if any opportunity is known after the offer. It is of no value. And we all have this mindset of commitment, don't we all? True or not? When we have made commitment, when Prashant has committed, he has to live with that. There is no way out. Okay? Only before making decisions, we can choose either this or that. We can go for the best one. Therefore, we should go and use our mind before making those decisions so that we don't regret it in future. Haven't tried it? You didn't try for it before. Now take whatever you got. There will definitely be regret. So why is it necessary to think about the opportunity cost? Because it is a very important part of the decision making, where you think before making any kind of decision. You should think about the available opportunities if you go for a certain option while making some decision. So my value might be a little more. Next. Listen this carefully. Opportunity cost comes into picture only when, pay attention, only when a resource is limited in supply. So it says that opportunity cost comes into picture when a resource is limited in supply. Repeat it. Opportunity cost comes into picture when? Only when a resource is limited in supply. You all have read about limited supply before. What did we read? It is a key factor. Moreover, it is also scarce. What does it mean? You won't get as much as you need. Okay? I have an example for this. Let me illustrate it here for you all. Number 4. Let's say I am in possession of a machine and I can use it only for the limited number of hours. It has a limited supply of only 1,000 hours and can't be used for unlimited amount of time. Now I have two products. Product A and product B. I can either produce A or produce B. Selling price of A is 50 and the variable cost is rupees 30. The contribution per unit is 20. Let's assume that hour taken per unit is 4. And the selling price of B is 100 and the variable cost is 50. Let's say the contribution per unit is 50. Now hours per unit. Let's say it is 20 hours. Before using this machine for even an hour, we have very carefully considered whether this 1 hour should be used for making product A or whether it should be used for making product B instead. So where would this machine be best used, in product A or in B? Think before you answer. Will it be in A or in B? In the B or in A? Is the best use in A or in B? In product A? Tell me, are you thinking in terms of contribution per unit? Whenever something is limited, the significance of that limited thing should be seen. One unit is giving 20 rupees and another unit is giving 50 rupees. Don't look at this. What do you take into account? Its contribution per hour. The machine hours here are 5. In case it is 4 hours, we will earn 5 rupees per hour. What would be the contribution per hour here? 2.5. What is the value of an hour? You must have heard. Time is money. What is 1 hour's value here? We can earn 5 rupees in an hour. We can also earn 2.5 rupees in that. Which one is preferable? 5 rupees. Meaning, where is the best use of this machine? In product A. A very important question arises here. Why are you pondering so much on this? Why are you thinking so much about this? You have 1,000 hours, give it to both. Pay attention here. Now this is limited. How do we think when it comes to the limited things? Tell me quickly. You should go for the option that would give the maximum benefits or profit to you. All limited things should always be used with the thought of how to maximize their benefit in best way. If I were to use these 1,000 hours for B, 2.5 rupees per hour, 2,500. It's 5,000 for A. We should think about limited things like this. We have to maximize benefit of that resource by using it in a way that will give us the most benefit. Let's say you have limited time. Where should we utilize this limited time? In the most profitable task. For example, what would be most beneficial for you? You will dedicate most of your time to studies and get the most benefit. For me, where will I benefit the most? By teaching. I will allocate my limited time to teaching because it will benefit me the most. Okay? This is the case with limited time. We need to think about how to get the most out of it. Make most of the limited time. And with day, unlimited time, it's not like this. When time is unlimited, no one thinks. With unlimited resource, one doesn't think like this. For example, since we have limited money, can we spend it everywhere? We don't spend our money on the unnecessary things, right? And especially when that money is limited. Tell me, if we have limited money, then can we spend it everywhere? Can we spend it anywhere we want? No, we cannot. We choose to spend money in those situations where we need it the most, not everywhere. Right? Because money is not unlimited. And we spend it where the need is greatest. This means we spend it from where the most benefit is derived. What does it mean? Where is the need for the money maximum? Wherever the profit is most. Necessity means benefit. But if this same money is unlimited, you will squander it. Now consider if time was unlimited. We will waste it too. If time is limited, you will use it wisely and carefully. Let me tell you something very interesting. Often many of us don't realize that our time is limited. So when does a person realize it? When his health starts deteriorating. Then the person realizes that he is alive for a very limited period. Then he starts to understand the importance of time. When does it happen? When we are facing a tough time in our life. When times are hard, we realize the importance of time. This happens to a lot. If some deadline is approaching, exam is imminent, or when there's deadline for office's work. When a deadline is approaching, we understand importance of time. Every single hour becomes valuable. The sound of a ticking clock starts echoing. An old couplet written by Kabir Das ji says, if you are going to do something tomorrow, do it today. Have you heard it?
आज करे सो अब कल में परलय होएगी.
This line means a disaster might come and lead to destruction of the world.
बहुरी करेगा कब? बहुरी मतलब स्टार्ट करेगा कब?
Indicates the right time to start. But today's generation has made something different of it. This generation does things in its own way. They put off today's work for tomorrow. Tomorrow's work for day after. No need to rush and strive when there are years alive. They think they have many years to live. So they will do today's work tomorrow and tomorrow's work the day after tomorrow. Why rush to do it in hurry? They have years. No worry. That theory of we will live long is only relevant until you come to realization that all of us are all here on earth for a very limited period of time. After this realization, you will feel your time is precious. You will find ways to use it wisely. I am trying to explain that if we have limited machine hours, where should we use it? Product A or product B? When it is limited, only use it where benefits most. What would happen if it was unlimited? Let's say the question states that machine hours are not a problem. We can use it unrestrictedly. At that time, there's no need to think about the opportunity cost. Do whatever you need to do. The opportunity cost comes into the picture when you are incurring losses while doing certain work. That work's causing loss. If there is a potential for loss due to some offer or some decision, then that is the opportunity cost. If you are thinking in terms of machine hours and machine hours are unlimited, what does unlimited mean? Do anything you want with it. Unlimited machine hours mean your offer will require machine hours. Because of this, there will be no loss. It is unlimited. So produce whatever product you want to. That has hours too. You have unlimited time. Make the product. Go ahead. You have hours for that. When things are unlimited, there's no sacrifice. You don't sacrifice. With limited machine hours, we have limited time available. Then what will we do? We will come to our senses. It is like when a person realizes their time is limited. After a doctor tells them they only have 2 months to live, they regret wasting time. When they contract some very serious illness, they realize their mistakes. They tend to think about how to use the remaining time they have left. Right? I'm explaining the same to you. So whenever the machine hours are limited, they will see reason in utilizing their time wisely. Should we use it in product A or B? If it's unlimited, you can use it wherever you want. Opportunity cost comes into the picture when the resources are limited in the supply. Remember this. So, in this case, now say, what happens when machine hour is limited? In that situation, the best use of machine hour is in product A. Look at the screen. The best use of machine hour is in product A. Therefore, we can say that if machine hour is limited, the best use of machine hour is in product A. In product A. Got it? What happens next here? Therefore, you would say the opportunity cost of an hour, of one machine hour, is 5 rupees. The opportunity cost of one machine hour is 5 rupees. What would you say is the opportunity cost of 1 hour? 5 rupees. If someone asks you what happens if machine hour is unlimited, what would you say? What if machine hour is unlimited? If machine hour is unlimited, you will get as many as you need. What about opportunity cost? Nothing will happen. Why not though? Because you are not sacrificing anything, right? Because you can do everything you want to do with it. Whenever there is sacrifice, there is opportunity cost. Then there will not be any opportunity cost. It will be nil. What will the opportunity cost be? It will be nil. Why? Why would it be nil? The opportunity cost will be nil. Why? What is the reason behind this? As there will be none. No sacrifices. As there will be no sacrifices whatsoever. In that case, the opportunity cost will be nil. The opportunity cost will be nil here, as there will be no sacrifices. Yes, you heard it right. There will not be any sacrifices. Did you get the point? The opportunity cost of 1 unit of a limited resource is also called as, it is also called as, or say it has another name, which is shadow price. And the marginal value of our resource, or the marginal value of the resource, okay, so the opportunity cost of 1 unit of a limited resource. So it is also called as what? Shadow price, or marginal value of the resources. Got it? And if tomorrow they asked you what is shadow price, your answer would be? It would be the opportunity cost of 1 unit of limited resource. What will be the shadow price if the resource availability is unlimited? The shadow price will be nil. Why? Because with unlimited resources, we don't sacrifice anything. If there is a sacrifice, there is an opportunity cost. Okay? If I can do whatever I want to do and as well as I can do the offer, then there is no sacrifice. Okay, the example that was about Ashik. Imagine that One is on Monday, one is on Wednesday, and one is on Friday. The date and time are different for all. One on Monday, one on Wednesday, and the other on Friday. Then we ask, what is the opportunity cost of offer 3? If offer 3 is on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, what is the opportunity cost of offer 3? The answer is nil. But why is it nil? Because there was no other work on Friday. The other two were on Monday and Wednesday. Okay. If there is no sacrifice, opportunity cost is also not there. Understand? You need to understand this is something to remember. These things aren't written in any books, but you need to understand them for analysis. The opportunity cost. It arises when sacrifice is made. Only in a limited resource though, and not in unlimited resources. Okay? This point is important. Opportunity cost of unlimited resources. It is nil, you need to be aware. For example, there might be a question added in your exam. Like, what will be your answer if you are told that the supply is actually unlimited? When they ask that, tell them the opportunity cost will become nil. With unlimited things, you will not face any loss or sacrifice at all. Where there is a sacrifice, there is going to be an opportunity cost. Okay? Alright, I hope you have understood. We are learning about the opportunity cost here. See, I have already explained the basic meaning of opportunity cost to you. It is income foregone. Don't think about the cost, think about the income. Secondly, I mentioned that if there are multiple opportunities or offers, then you should take the best one from it. Okay? Choose the best one and look at the first question. It's interesting. What's the opportunity cost for Mr. Ashik? So they have 3 options. It's assumed that they aren't going anywhere when they are giving answer. Similarly, if we ask what the opportunity cost of obsolete material is, what would you say? What would be your answer? The opportunity cost of obsolete material is highest option among 1 and 2. Okay? What's opportunity cost of reselling the material as a scrap? So answer is 6,000, which is the second option. Opportunity cost of recycling. The answer is the second option, 500, which is the sacrifice you are making. Generally asking what the opportunity cost of obsolete material is, it is the higher one. If I ask you the opportunity cost of Ashik, a lecturer, the answer is the highest of the 3. But when I ask what the opportunity cost of lecture at SJC is, therefore the 2 options that are remaining here out of the 3, let's see. What is the opportunity cost of 1 machine hour? The answer is, when they asked about 1 machine hour, I didn't know then what it would be used for. So the best out of the 2 answer is 5 rupees. Now if I ask what is the opportunity cost of 1 hour used in product A? Opportunity cost of 1 hour used in product A, what would you say? 2.5 rupees. What you gave up, sacrifice is your opportunity. Remember that. A question is being asked to you in the above example. Here, what is the shadow price? Shadow price of 1 machine hour. In this example, what is your answer? What is shadow price of 1 machine hour? The answer is 5, which is higher option. Okay. The higher of A and B. And in the same way, what would be the actual shadow price of 1 unit of product A? Please tell me what is the shadow price of it. The child says the answer is 2.5, which is wrong. I added a twist here. I asked 1 unit of product A. How many hours will go in 1 unit? 4 hours. So you have to consider the price for 4 hours then. It said 1 unit, not 1 hour, right? You need to pay attention. Don't make mistake between hour and unit. So you have to take the price for 4 hours. Okay? And what else should you consider if you choose option A? Are you giving up option B? The sacrifice is happening of option B. So it is 2.5 per hours. Understood. If you choose A, you will have to take B. The income from B is now sacrificed. The contribution per hour from B. Answer is 10 rupees. So in the same way, what is the shadow price of 1 unit of product B? What is the shadow price of 1 unit of product B? So the shadow price of 1 unit of product B How many hours does B take? 10 hours. But what did you lose? You are giving up A to stay with B. A is being sacrificed. The answer would be 50 rupees. Contribution per hour from A. 10 hours, right? Sorry, it's 20. 20 hours, so it will become 100. If it's 20 hours, then 100. I hope the idea is clear. So what exactly is the shadow price of 1 unit of product B? Meaning how we should think. This example is simply trying to teach us how we should think. If nothing is asked except the shadow price, say the higher one of the two. When asked about A, look at B and answer. When asked about B, look at A. In the example of Ashik, what is the opportunity cost? Whichever is highest among the three. So if asked about the SJC, then the highest among the other two, and if asked about the ICI, then the highest among those. If it's obsolete material, if its opportunity cost is asked, then it is the higher of the two. The opportunity cost of 1 is the answer of 2, and the opportunity cost of 2 is the answer of 1. Understood? What is the opportunity cost of? The opportunity cost of unlimited resources? It will be nil. Okay. So the opportunity cost of unlimited things will be nil. There is another concept of the opportunity cost. Opportunity gain. What's the point number? 8. Point 8. Opportunity gain. Number 8 is opportunity gain. Think of it as a brother to opportunity cost. So what happens in this is, we write here, it is the cost saved from next best alternative. It is the cost saved from the next best alternative. They were talking about income foregone. See what they are saying here. Cost saved. Now, how to think? Pay attention. First, keep an example of opportunity cost in your mind. Look at this example. This is an example in front of you. That if I would say that there actually is you have a toxic waste lying around, and whose book value is, the book value of the waste lying around is 5,000 rupees. The waste has become toxic, means it's poisonous. So keeping it doesn't mean anything. Option 1. Removed on as is, where is basis. As is, where is means that it should be removed in its current condition. As is, where is meaning as it is, and it should be removed in whatever condition it is and wherever it is. So if they come and take it away, then there will be a cost of 2,000. Okay. Option number 1 is remove on as is, where is basis. Option number 2 is it is to remove after the treatment. We will not dispose it as it is. We will not dispose it as it is. Okay. We will dispose it after the treatment. It is toxic. If we dispose it after the treatment instead of as it is, then its cost will be 3,500. Okay. And now you have an option number 3, that this option is needed in an offer, required in an offer. There is a reason it is required in an offer. So it's poisonous for you, but for someone else it's not poison. It's useful and a necessity in some offers. How much money did you save due to the offer? How much was saved? If it goes there because of the offer, how much will be saved? 2,000 or 3.5? It's a little bit confusing. So see how to think. If this offer hadn't come, what would you have done? would have gone for 2000. What is the next best option? The next best is 2000, right? Why did we spend 3,500? We should have only spent 2. There may be a condition or a government regulation in place that requires you to treat the waste before you can dispose of it. You cannot dispose it. So this option would be rejected and we would have to go for 3,500. Shall I repeat? If there came in an offer that required toxic waste. So here we are thinking about how we can give it. So for this particular offer, forget about the cost of this. But what will be left due to this offer? Either 2,000 or 3,500. Both the options cannot be left. If there's no offer, we choose the lower cost. If it's about income, we go for the higher income, but both have costs and not income. So which cost would you actually choose if the offer wasn't there? Then we would choose the lower cost option. Since the lower cost is 2,000, then it would be considered a save, not 3.5. Suppose if the government has a regulation that you cannot dispose of it without treatment, then so this option goes away and is not applicable at all. This is applicable. So at that time, due to the offer, how much money would have been saved? 3.5 thousand. So how were they considering opportunity cost? They considered it based on income. Opportunity gain is opposite of that. What have we written here? Cost saved from the next best alternative. Now, in the case of income, what is the next best? In the case of income, the next best option is the highest one. And in the case of cost, what is the next best option? The one which is the lowest. Here, see, write it like this. Had this offer wouldn't be there if this offer did not exist then. Wouldn't be there. The best way to dispose the toxic waste would have been, it would have been the best way to dispose of the toxic waste would have been. Had this offer wouldn't be there, then the best way to dispose the toxic waste would have been, say it would have been option number 1. Why? 2,000 rupees being the least cost. So therefore, opportunity gain due to the offer is equals to rupees 2,000. The opportunity gain due to the offer would be equal to rupees 2,000. Look, the opportunity gain due to the offer would be equal to rupees 2,000. What will you say? 2,000, not 3.5. You see, it's about the money. As humans, we always prefer the larger amount. Our minds always prefer the higher value. Understand? If somehow by mistake you don't pay attention to words like cost and income in the exam, then you will mess up the whole thing. That's why I am teaching this. If you mess up cost and income, the whole thing will go down. Understand? The whole thing will be messed up. That's why I am explaining this concept through examples so you don't make any silly mistake. Okay, so higher is best. That's not at all necessary. Okay, the lower one can also be the best. If it is about cost, lower cost is the best. So what happened in the next best alternative? Least cost. Write down here, least cost is best. Just write it in the brackets. The least cost is the best. So if you add opportunity cost, then you will reduce the opportunity gain. So you gained a profit of 2,000 due to offer. If it was opportunity cost, we would say offer resulted in loss of 2,000. The loss is an expense and gain is a benefit. Remember, we are working with you on all these little things. Look, I'm going to jump right into the main point and you won't even realize it then. You'll be stunned. But this is a basic fundamental thing. It's important to grasp this concept well. You know the golden rules in accounts, right? So this is your golden rules. If all of this is not clear to you, everything ahead will become confusing. Okay? Make sure that you memorize all of the examples. Whether it's the one with the anarkali or the one with the ashik or the machine one. You need to remember all the examples, even the one about toxic waste. And lastly, the answer for the obsolete stores. Remember those two. So you should remember all the examples that I gave you. You should remember all the examples very well. Okay? Got it? Let's move on. This is the story till the opportunity gain. Now we will jump to the main thing, to the main concept. But before that, I want to take your test. Let me see that how much of this did you understand. And to know that, there is a small test for you. Test is simple. There is a question. You have to do this right now. Question number 2. Real concept will come after question 2. Okay. You have to do and show me the question number 2. You have to show it to me. Now think a bit and read the question yourself. Okay. And then tell me what should be the answer. Do whatever you can, just solve it. Refer to the old example or refer to the old notes. While reading the question, draw it in your notebook. Working in notebook is very important. Look, what we study and what comes in the exam are different. This is rule. We have a concept of opportunity cost. We don't know how it will appear in the exam. Okay? So here is the first working that you will have. Look how we should do it. I'll explain. Question number 2, you will write the page number like this, okay? Solution to question number 2, page number dash. Write page number of notebook here. Exercise book number 1. And here you have to write page number. Also write exercise book number and page number. So now, the first thing you should determine is if there are 4 products. You should find out that how much production can be done here. What is the possible production quantity? You have 1000 hours. Either it will go to A or it will go to B. It will either go to C or will go to D. Okay? So in A, B, C, D, if we have 1000 hours, so according to 1 hour, 1000 units, how much will B get? 1 hour and 15 minutes. 15 minutes means 1000 divided by 1 hour and 15 minutes, so 1.25. It's assumed 1.25 hours. 15 minutes means quarter of an hour. It's 800. This is 1000 divided by. It's 1 hour 15, then 1.25 is 800. Then dividing 1000 by 2, we get 500. Then next is how much sales quantity is possible. How much sales quantity is possible? This is 1000. It's 600. 900, 600. So after comparing both, lower is possible, right? What will be the lower of above? If we thought we could sell 1000, then 1000. If we thought 800, but only 600 will be sold, 600 will be lower. Do you understand? This concept is basic. If you are making 800, but only 600 will be sold. And if you are making 800, but you can sell 900, still you will sell 800 because the supply is not available. You can only sell 500 as there is no supply. So you can think it this way. Now tell me, what were the lost sales? How much loss was incurred in sales? There was no loss. Here the inventory is left. No lost sales here. And we couldn't sell these 100. There was demand in the market, but there was no supply. Here also we couldn't sell 100. These are lost sales units. What will you call it? Lost sales. Lost sales units, okay. So now tell me, students, what is the opportunity cost? Opportunity cost can be calculated in two ways. I will explain both the methods. First, tell me contribution per unit. Tell me about all of them. Contribution per unit is 40 minus 30, selling price minus variable cost. Here it's 10. It is 30. Then 40 and 40. 10, 30, 40, 40. So what will be the total contribution? 10,000. 18,000. Here 800 multiplied by 40, it will give us 32,000 and 20,000. It's the total possible contribution. Okay. Look, there are two ways to solve this. Please understand this carefully. First method is, if we have to find the opportunity cost of A. So if we find A, then what can't we find? What will be sacrificed? B, C, D. B, C and D, all three will be sacrificed. But we can't find all three because question states that you can only produce one product. Then what to produce if not A? Then one with highest income. So it should be higher of income foregone. From B, C and D. That is equal to 32,000 rupees. Correct. Similarly, find it for the remaining three. What's the opportunity cost of B? What is it of C? Do it yourself. What will be the opportunity cost of D? Tell about all four. Is it done? All four? In B, there is the highest of A, C and D, which is again 32, right? When it comes to C, what is the highest of A, B, D? The highest for A, B, D is 20,000. And in this, you have to take the highest of A, B and C. That is 32. So this is one way to do it. Let me tell you, when this question came in CA Institute, they solved it like this. Do it like this. That's how it should be. The example I explained you about Ashik is same. Look, what was new in all this? Only this part. You cannot think about the production, the sales, and how much is the lower. I deliberately didn't tell you this before. I was checking if you guys could think about this, did you? You couldn't? This is a mistake, which the man can't even think. Okay, this is the uniqueness of this sum. Although, there is one more way to do it easily, which should be stated in the question clearly, so the person can think like that. I am telling you how the ICMAI has done it. Whatever ICMAI has done will work in exam. What I have told you won't work. Our common sense worked, but what the institute said is important. So what the institute is saying is that the opportunity cost means that you have to find out income foregone from the lost sales. From the lost sales. Due to production limitations, I mean production capacity limitations. This is not the right way to think. However, I will explain you the working of the institute. It means they are not comparing A, B, C, D. In the solution of the institute, it is not comparing A, B, C, D, not putting all of them in front. The institute's solution is only considerate about A, that how much A could have produced. 1,000. And how much could be sold? The answer is 1,000. Is there any lost? No, so there is no opportunity cost. So, in this, assuming no comparison between the products, we won't say comparison between, we'll say among. There is no comparison among the products. Products are not being compared. Assuming no comparison among the products. There is no comparison happening among them. So what would you say? What is the opportunity cost of A? It's nil. Why? Because there is no lost sales. So we didn't even look at B, C, D. As per rules, we don't see opportunity cost. What is the way to check opportunity cost? If I am considering A, then I will see that what can I earn in B, C, D. CA Institute solution was done in the same way. Same question appeared in CA Institute. Okay, in fact, in the CA Inter's material, if you open the CA Inter's material, you will find it. It used to be in final, but they put it in the CA Inter. What will be the opportunity? Cost of B, tell me, does it have lost sales? It's also nil because there is no lost sales. What's the opportunity cost of C? How much is lost sales? 100 into 40 rupees. 4,000. And what will it be for D? It is also 100. 100 into 40 rupees is 4,000. So which one is correct? Whatever the institute has said is right for you. When you are given any two different approaches that either choose this or that, in that case, do what the institute says if you want marks. I've already told you that what is the correct way. What the CA Institute did, it was the right thing. And that will look more logical, what we did for ABCD. That seems more correct. Or it looks like definition. Okay. I will show you. You will find same question on ICI website. See here. Now let's do one question orally, okay? I have taken this from CA Institute's material. Market demand and production capacity is visible, so what will be the lower? The capacity is 2000, so I can only fulfill that. If demand is for 2000, I can only sell 2000. We have capacity of 900, so only that can be done. What will be the total contribution in each case? 4 into 2000 is 8000. 3 into 2000 is 6000. And what is 5 into 900? 4500, right? So what's the opportunity cost of X? 6000 and Y's. 8000, forget what's coming for Y. We are sacrificing X and Z. What would you say the opportunity cost of X? Forget about X, take the one that is higher between Y and Z. If you go to Y, then forget Y. What you have left behind is 8000. And if you go to Z, what would you say? Higher between these two, 8000, so answer is written here. What is the answer? This is the correct way to do it. Okay. See, this question is very old. It's repeated a lot in the CA final exam. This came many times in finals. Now they added it to CA Inter's material. And the same question is added in CMA Institute material. When did it came? It came twice. But they offered their own solution. What solution did they give? Which I just did. ICMI solution. What did they do? They just calculated the opportunity cost of lost sales of each product. They find the lost sales. Without comparing the products, how are we calculating this? We make one and lose the rest. That is correct method. Our method is worthless. The institute's approach is commendable. Okay. If we need marks, just do what the institute will say. Okay, unless the institute is making a mistake. There is an error. It should be a plus b equals to c, but they wrote d. Calculation error. That's different point. We're not talking about the error. If there is error, we will not agree with institute. But if there is a difference in the approach, then to get marks, accept what institute says. That's why there is exclusive batch. Exclusive batch means that we will do as the institute is demanding. However, you are learning from me, I can also tell you the correct approach. So you have to take this risk. Let's say in future, if new concept came to institute material, assume that I've told you about this now, but if there is new addition to institute material, the solution is modified there. They have done what we are discussing. The previous one, you should keep this in mind whenever you go to give the exam. Refer to the latest institute material from the previous time. Whenever you go to give the exam, refer to the latest institute material available at that time. Do whatever is mentioned in it. Okay. Let's go. So this concept is also clear to you, right? Let's move forward. Right now, we are not doing the questions of opportunity gain. We'll see those later on when the topic will come. Now let's see a new concept. And that will be point number 9. Go to point 9. Now here we will see relevant cost sheet of an offer. How is the relevant cost sheet of an offer created? So we have particulars and amount. First item in cost sheet is, you all knows it, right? Material. So we would write this as the relevant cost of materials. The second one is the relevant cost of labor. And third one will be the relevant cost of overheads. Fourth is the relevant cost of use of machinery and depreciation. Now adding all four of these. So this becomes your relevant cost of the offer. Relevant cost of the offer. You will compare this to the revenue. You will compare this with what? With the revenue of the offer. And the result obtained will be called net incremental benefit. net incremental benefits from the offer. Okay. Net incremental benefits from the offer. Okay. Now we will learn this one by going into depth. For material, for labor, overhead, and machinery. For these separate points, separate headings will be made. There are many scenarios in this. Okay. And then later on, we will have to add up all the costs together when we will have to see the total cost. Before I take you to the relevant cost of material, I want to tell you one more thing. About minimum and maximum prices, remember I told you about the uses of relevant costing. In that, let's come to the minimum price of an offer. What will be the minimum price of any offer? The minimum price for that will be, the minimum price of an offer is equal to its relevant cost. In simple language, it is said relevant cost. Now relevant cost means this here, this one, yes, this one here. Relevant cost. Relevant cost is equal to the minimum price. Okay. Its relevant cost is the minimum price. There are different ways to use this. So if you add up everything like the material, labor, overhead, and depreciation, you get the minimum price. But you see, students, there are many situations where you'll be asked for minimum price. But we are not given much detail like materials, labor, overhead. They just gives us a certain scenario. A scenario is given and you will be asked, tell us what the minimum price would be. For example, do you know about the Birla Planetarium, which is here in Kolkata? No? Okay, you haven't. You should visit there someday. You will like it. Okay, so at the Birla Planetarium, so there is a round dome built, okay? And this is the screen. And this screen is on the ceiling. Like this on the ceiling. It is like they have put the projector on the ceiling. And in that, it shows the entire galaxy through projection. The whole of the universe, all the planets, Earth, Sun, stars. So the planetarium organizes these type of shows there. Okay, so it's very unique. It feels like you've entered into the galaxy for a while. So now a new show came at planetarium. They created a new show about galaxy. Okay. This new show's regular timing is that it starts from 11 a.m. and it runs till 6 in the evening. The first show is at 11 a.m. and the last show runs there at 6 p.m. Now during that time, a school representative approached planetarium and said, we want to show this new show to our children. Okay. But we won't come at 11 a.m. We will be coming at 9 a.m. Otherwise we will get late. Because the school timings, they are of early morning. Okay. So we will bring all the kids at 9 in the morning. Okay. Let's say you are in charge of that planetarium. Now you are being asked. So what is the minimum price that you can charge? Now material, labor, overhead, depreciation, you don't understand all these number of times. So tell me, how should you think? We need to think situationally. Just material, labor, overhead, depreciation won't work. You have to think according to situation. So how would you think relevant cost in this case? So the way of thinking is, or let's say at that time we will think that if this offer wouldn't have come to you, so what was your cost? And because of the offer, did the cost increase? What is the new cost? Extra cost, whatever is there, I will give. What is the theory behind the minimum price? Even I have created one of my own theory on this. Serve others. Don't think of outcome. Outcome is not important, okay? Outcome means profit. Serving means paying expenses. Organizations that are charitable, they often gives a lot of things. Cost to cost. Cost to cost is also serving. Don't think serving means everything is free. Serving means cost to cost. Outcome means profit. Whenever we talk about the minimum price, we don't worry about the profit. Just think about the cost. So you operate a planetarium and you calculated that because of their arrival at 8 a.m. for a single day, because show is at 9. So one of my staff members will come. There is a separate overtime charge for that. Or consider another example. My projector will run. Its electricity bill will generate. So you will only be charging them for what you will spend separately. That's it. So practically, let's say if your expense is 5,000, so you will charge 5,000 from school. Okay. For you, it was no profit and loss situation. So you did the serving without gain. No profit, no loss means no gain. Only serving. But can you serve every day? If it is a profitable organization, then no. If it's a non-profitable, then you can still do it. We study relevant costing for profitable organization. Can you serve every day? No, you won't. So how should it be? Entire normal costing system will come into play for everyday operations. You see every single day that school is coming, now show to this class. The next day, show it to that class. Next day, show to this class. It will become a daily occurrence. We cannot do this much service. Now we will add up all the expenses. We will also add up our committed cost. Plus we'll take profit. We can only provide service for one time. Service is a one-time offer, not a regular one. Okay, so this is also possible that this time they agreed to the school to show it for 5,000 rupees. The children liked it, so school asked to show it to next class as well. Again, show it to next class for 5,000. You will get frustrated. You'll say it was a one-time help. They are repetitively asking us to show it at 5,000, but it was just for a day. Okay, so here the main point is to serve, and you may please write it down as well. So time to time, we'll catch this topic. Lifelong its application is there. Whenever with the relevant costing, you'll do pricing means you will be serving no profit. We'll look at serving, not the profit. Is it good? Therefore, the relevant cost is equal to materials plus labor plus overhead plus depreciation. Okay. And now the next thing here is, so next thing will be that minimum price is equal to, you can think it like total cost with offer minus the total cost without the offer. The total cost with the offer minus total cost without offer. So you can also say that it is nothing but simply an incremental cost. It is nothing but incremental cost. There is another way to calculate this which was taught to you as a third approach yesterday. Cost to be incurred and benefits lost due to the offer minus the benefits achieved due to the offer. Previously, relevant cost approach and 3 approaches were taught, right? There were 3 approaches and one of them was this. Till benefits lost was done. Benefits achieved is opportunity gain. Benefits lost are opportunity cost. And you could also say like cost to be incurred means which I will need to bear. Plus if it's benefits lost, then it will be opportunity cost. Minus if it's benefits achieved, then it is opportunity gained. The cost to be incurred plus the benefit lost minus benefit achieved means plus opportunity cost minus opportunity gain. Okay. So in the case of planetarium, just take the extra expenses, which is incremental cost. Depending on scenario, what kind of question will be formed by data. On the basis of that, decide whether to choose this system or else should I compare the total cost or cost to be incurred plus opportunity cost minus opportunity gains. I don't know from which situation the question might arrive. The basic idea is to remember the minimum price. That means give me back what I invested. Please give me the extra amount that I spent. Now I even gave you an example. There is a customer for whom we were making a machine. Suddenly news came that the customer had gone bankrupt. What's the use of machine that was being built? Okay. So now my sales team, they found another customer. He needs the same machine, but he also needs some changes. Okay, so imagine a machine that was being built on order. And on that machine, I have already spent my 40,000 rupees. It is spent already. How much money? 40,000 rupees with no customer. Customer, he went bankrupt. Its order was given. But now a new customer has come. A new customer came and he needs the same machine, which I was making, but with slight changes. So the modification cost will be incurred. and it will cost around 12,000 rupees. Okay? This machine was not completely finished. You can say it was in progress. So the cost of completing the machine is still remaining. Completion cost. The cost of completing the machine still remains. Let's say that it's 8,000 rupees. Let's think about the machine. Let's calculate and analyze the scenario once. My machine was already being made and without the offer. This scenario is without offer. This scenario with offer. So a machine was being built. How much money did it cost? 40. And how much is remaining? And remaining 8,000. So 8,000 rupees is the completion cost. It was in progress. So completion cost of 8,000 is remaining. The customer became insolvent. How much money did I lose? How much money is lost? The amount that was already spent is lost. So 40,000 rupees are gone. A new customer arrived. He's asking to make slight changes before buying. What is the cost of changes? 12,000. And just changing won't be enough, right? Machine needs to be completed. What's the completion cost? 8,000. What's the extra cost coming with offer? 20,000. So these are 20,000 extra. Don't think like there's difference between with and without of 20,000 and 40,000. It's not like that. Now, the expenses that have already been incurred, those will obviously be here, right? Which are already incurred. The specialty about sunk cost is it remains equal in both. Now sunk cost is already coming 40,000 here. So in total, it came out to be 60,000. How much extra will be incurred due to my offer? If it costs 20,000 and if I get 20,000, it's fine. Accounts will be balanced. This is the minimum. I'm not saying that work only at the minimum. Pay attention. Many children get their concepts wrong. I'm not saying do transaction at minimum only. I'm saying to take this minimum amount. You can bargain and get more. If your customer pays 25, you will have an extra profit of 5. What should be minimum? Minimum doesn't mean to sell it for that much. But the minimum actually means that the deal should be at least on this much. If it doesn't happen, then you will be facing a loss. You'll think it was better to just leave it. If left it like this, we had only lose 40. Let's say customer will only pay 15,000. What will happen with 15,000? Total expense is 60,000. With 15,000, my loss will increase to 45,000. Remember, with the offer, I should be staying as I am. It will work without extra income, but not with the loss. Are you getting this? These are exam questions, so remember these. But in the exam, this will be made a little more complicated. These 12,000 and 8,000 rupees will be complicated. I have just summarized and explained what will be in the exam question. How will you get 12,000 and 8,000? That calculation will involve many parts. You have to add 12 and 8 and get the result. So what is the minimum price of this machine? What is the minimum price for the offer? Or let us write, what can be the minimum price? What can be minimum price of the offer? What can be the minimum price of the offer? So what will the answer be? 20,000. And how is it so? Answer to this is total cost with offer minus the total cost without the offer. If you'll think this way, then 60,000 minus 40,000. What is second approach? The easiest way to think about it is that don't go into total approach. I taught different type of approaches. Do you remember it? Remember, always go into incremental approach. How much extra cost? Just think of the extra cost. I hope I get my extra cost. So guys, the answer will be the modification cost plus the completion cost. We will get what's extra. That is 12 plus 8. 20,000. What this means, whatever position I maintained before, I should maintain same position now. Okay. What was my position before? I lost 40,000. You can think like this way, or PL without offer. What was happened? I had a loss. The customer was gone. The cost that was already incurred. Debit was 40,000. What would be the net loss? 40,000. What is PL with offer? What is the PL with offer? This is already incurred here. It will remain, and what is the importance of sunk cost? It will be in two cases. It doesn't change, it's irrelevant. If any cost is sunk, we will get in both the cases. And how much is the additional cost? And modification cost? That is your 12,000. What is the completion cost? That is 8,000. So now see, what is the net coming? If we see the loss now, what will the net amount? 60. But I am saying, if you have to provide such service, then the net situation should remain the same. If this changes, it will be wrong. If this loss increases, it will not be good. In order to maintain this, how much will you recover? What you will recover will be the minimum price. Answer is 20,000. See, this is the way to think. What will be the presentation? You will get to know in the main sum. This is not main sum. Right now, it's an option to think. One way to think is 60 to 40. Another way to think is just take extra cost. One way to think is to compare the PL without offer with the PL with offer. And understand this rule that the minimum price is a price through which we will have no harm. Okay, guys? What did I say? Just do good service and don't think about reward. Do the service. Don't expect reward. It means don't take profit. Also, don't bear the loss. Minimum price. That means that the minimum price is the price at which the net position of the offer, net position. No, not of the offer, but with and without offer, with and without the offer, would be same. The minimum price is the price at which the net position, with and without offer position, will be same. My net position should remain the same. Just give me my expenses. What expense to give? This is coming while driving. I told you in planetarium, give 5,000 for any extra. Give for the extra modification cost and nothing else. Clear? It's not that transaction will happen only at this price. You can do transaction at higher price. But you should know your minimum. We won't go below that. Okay? Try to grasp this concept. These are all golden rules. Revise them properly and drill them in your mind so that you remember them every time. There's one last thing, maximum price. It's a small one. The maximum price of an offer. The maximum price of an offer. The maximum price of an offer. Okay? This comes when we do the payment. Okay? When the company is buying anything, okay, it thinks of the maximum price, right? It can pay for it. It thinks of maximum price that it can pay for it, maximum price. If we are buying, what is the maximum we can offer? In this, what is the difference in thinking? The maximum price is. We don't think from the cost angle. What do we think about profit with offer? What if profit increases with the offer? Let's assume the profit increases with what we are going to buy, then minus the profit without the offer. Maximum price means what? The profit with the offer. Minus profit without offer. It's not about cost. Let's talk about profit. If we are buying something, there should be benefit because of it. So the extra benefit will be given to you. Okay? It's equal to, you can say, incremental benefit. We talked about incremental cost. What would we call here? Incremental benefit. And guys, I can give you the extra income that I have with me. Like, for example, let's say my life is going on in the company as it is going on, right? Furthermore, I am running the SJC and it's running of its own with my time and my resource, my time, my resource. Running with the present income of 1 crore rupees, okay? We earn 1 crore rupees per year. Prashant came to me. Mr. Prashant is saying that we should hire him in our company. We should hire him. He wants to join this company. He wants to join SJC. Okay? So now, how much will he charge? He will charge something, right? Prashant will calculate minimum price for him, but when I will calculate for him, I will calculate and think that how much more can I give to Prashant? Clear? I mean, how much can I offer Prashant, the maximum, if he wants to join SJC? What can be the maximum price? This is what I need to think about, the maximum amount that I can pay. How will you think? We don't have any concern on how much Prashant earns in his job. We don't have to concern with it. It's Prashant's job. If we were earning from somewhere, how much would it be? Prashant will think about it. What I will think is that what benefit will I get from Prashant? I'm earning 1 crore like this. Prashant sir, I will reveal that. Profit if Prashant joins. If Prashant joins, it can become 1.5 crore. If joins SJC, it will be 1.5 crore rupees. Now guys, think about the concept. How was it without Prashant? 1 crore, and what will happen if he comes? 1.5 crore. So what's the maximum we can offer Prashant? 50 lakhs. Whether we give him or not, we will bargain. But we are thinking that how much more can we give to Prashant? What's the answer here? Profit with offer and profit. Without offers difference, then see incremental benefit. Understood? What's the solution? Answer will be, what is the maximum amount we can offer? The maximum pay can be the difference in the profit, that is equal to 1.5 crore minus 1 crore is equal to 50 lakhs. We can give this amount, but it's not compulsory that we will give it. We will bargain. We want to give 5 lakhs. My limit is 50 lakh rupees. If it's 5 lakhs, 45 lakhs will be with me. We will bargain with him. We won't just say we will give 50 lakhs. Many students in previous batch would come to me with such questions and ask, why did you give 5 lakhs? Well, 5 lakhs were given to him because it will benefit me in future. The maximum I can give is 50, then that does not mean I will give 50 lakhs. This scenario or this kind of calculation happens in the real world when you hire a key manager. Okay, guys? Do you know what are key managers? The key managers are those who hold very high positions in the company, right? So this is how decision making is done. This sum has also come in exam. This type of question is made from every example. These examples are miniature questions, okay? The maximum pay is 50 lakh rupees. Therefore, the idea is the same. If you take this idea that was written here, the minimum price is the price. Guys, think of it this way. The maximum price is also the same price as the price at which the net position of the company, then with and without the offer, will be the same. So the maximum price is the price at which. And now the net position of the company with and without the offer will be the same. Same thing is written in minimum. Same thing is written in minimum, exactly same. If you want to read common definition, read this. But if you want to read it separately, the minimum price should include the extra cost. And the maximum price, what extra profit I have made, I can give that. Revise all these points when you go home. If not, you will forget this. So just write this down in your mother tongue when you go home and revise it, okay? And in this way, the thing will be remembered longer. Okay, what does maximum price mean? Such an amount, such amount. The amount that I can give at the maximum level. And that is my extra profit. Next, whatever extra benefit I get because of you, that's what I can give. I can give you the benefit that I get because of you. I hope this is clear. And minimum price means the cost incurred because of you. I need that. I want the amount from you that costs me because of you or because of your offer. Okay. What does maximum price mean? I can give you the amount that I earned because of you. Okay. Therefore, whatever extra I am earning, I can give you. That's maximum. Many times this happens with everyone. So try to understand. If I don't take Prashant and my current employee is leaving, then that will be a risk for my company. Clear? With Prashant, that risk will be reduced. We have to accept Prashant's terms. Okay. He demands 60 lakhs. So we might have to pay 8 lakhs to him and I will have to justify that amount. Why did I give more than 50? I gave it because it could have caused more damage in the future, which has now been saved. Okay? And students, do not assume that this is the final amount for Prashant. Moreover, students, because these are all in our mind and 50 lakhs is okay. But sometimes overall situation in our company is not so strong that I have to pay more because of the future benefits of company. Okay? And sometimes it might also happen that Prashant is not that capable enough. He doesn't really know about his own value. I know that we can gain 50 lakhs of benefit from him. We offered him 5 lakhs only. Did you understand? Let's review it once, then it will be clear. Try to understand. Everything that I am teaching you should be in your mind. For instance, I am teaching you now without using a book. There are no notes with me. I have memorized all this like it's a golden rule to teach you, okay? I have not done any revision a night before the class. I just have to mentally prepare that I have to teach you this chapter in this way. Clear? That today I will teach you this, and this. I just have to be prepared mentally because all this is basic. Without this, you won't understand anything. And this can fit into any sum, okay? All the notes that I have told you today, this is all home task. You will remember it in a way that if someone just says a heading, you will tell them the entire thing about it. With all the bullet points and examples and points. If this misses your next class, it will be difficult. Your home task is to remember every concept. Okay? And like I mentioned yesterday, if you go and teach someone, or if you want to teach someone at home, whether you teach someone at office or call a friend and tell them about your new concept, right? And even if someone is studying CA, it won't matter much. These concepts will apply to everyone. What I am teaching you, it doesn't matter if you're studying science or arts, it will be useful in your life. The minimum price, the maximum price, and the opportunity cost is something everyone should think about. The example you were taught, teach to your friend, then answer counter question that comes from him. If you can't answer, write it down and bring it to me. But make sure it's clear in your mind. This will help you understand. If your concept is clear, you will pick up higher level studies. Okay? Now I am stopping here. We will continue this on next day. Thank you.